Welcome to another episode of Dave and Kathy Unplugged, where we just took delivery of our Brinkley, and I'm so happy we bought pre-owned.
Same.
It's a beautiful, if you haven't seen us taking delivery, we had a couple little snafus. We had a little water leak, the hint of things to come.
There were a few little
We had
things.
a little plastic piece that just fell off and fell on the floor.
Still a mystery.
I don't know what, just the glue fell off, whatever. I think that's a minor thing. I think it's handy to have been good in arts and crafts if you're going to get an RV.
Well, then I shouldn't have an RV.
You shouldn't have an RV, nor should I. But you know what we were going to do in this episode is we are going to be driving, and we're actually driving right now, not very fast here on I-75. We're just north of Tampa, and we are driving to our new RV resort where we're going to be keeping Mr. Brinkley.
Mr. Brinkley it is.
Mr. Brinkley is the name that we've decided to call him.
Very original.
Super original, right? But you know what? That's okay.
I think it suits him.
It suits him. And I don't know why, but I think of Mr. Brinkley like wearing a bow tie and in a tuxedo.
Very proper.
Such a classy thing. But what we want to do is we want to tell you why and how we decided to actually go beyond just buying an RV, but buying an RV lot. And so I don't know if this is going to be a crazy thing or not, but we are investing in really a second home here that we can rent out, whether we can rent out the RV itself, which we'll get into, or we could rent out the lot itself, which we're also going to get into. But in this episode, we're going to tell you how we ended up picking the RV resort that we are going to keep our unit at, because there's a lot of trash out there.
There was a lot.
A lot of trash.
And the whole process is sort of a lot.
It is a lot.
We've made decisions, and now we are settled.
So let's get into this episode and take you on our journey. Six weeks ago, after the RV show in Hershey, Kathy and I decided that it would make some sense, before we actually committed to buying an RV, figuring out where we were going to keep it, right? Because we don't own a home down in Florida. We own a condo, and they're not going to let us keep it in the
parking lot.
No. And when you start looking at places to store it, it's not cheap to store an RV. And there's all different kinds of storage. There's indoor storage, there's outdoor storage, and what have you. There's a nice fifth wheel.
Yeah.
It's a KZ Durango.
Gold.
Established 1972.
Looks big.
Yeah, being towed by an F350 single diesel, very similar to Kyle's truck. So the question was, where should we go? Now, at the RV show in Hershey, we came across a bunch of, around the whole arena. We got the booths, the vendors and all that.
Yep, promoting their RV resort.
And there was an RV resort that was called Waves in Naples, really close to our condo.
Right.
But you can't.
And we want to be pretty close to our condo.
Yeah, you can rent there. And what's interesting is that if you sign a lease for more than 6 months, or 6 months or more in the state of Florida, you don't have to pay sales tax on the lease, which is good. But you know, like, the leases were pretty expensive there, and they were advertising 20% off to rent from them.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm wondering why, and I started to realize that the RV market is super soft. For not only purchasing RVs, but also for where you can keep it, and where, if you're thinking about buying or renting an RV lot. And you know, what happened was, during COVID, this is my analysis, during COVID, everyone went out and bought an RV.
I think that's a fair analysis.
And the RV companies had to figure out how to meet that demand and ask people to, you know, come into work when everybody else is at home quarantined. And I think the quality of RVs went down during that period of time.
There has been some mumblings about that.
Some mumblings of that. And the number of units that were sold went way up. That's fact.
The RV factories were scrambling.
And they were scrambling to meet the demand, which was sort of a once in a lifetime spike in RV sales. that has spiked opposite direction right now. And with the exception of a few manufacturers that are kind of coming up the curve, namely, I think Brinkley, as one example, there is an opportunity for people to put out a quality product. And so that's factor number one. Factor number two is more of a macro geopolitical situation that is, we're not going to talk about politics here, but there are a lot of Canadians that do not want to come to vacation in the States anymore, at least not short term.
Right, and particularly where it's warm.
We're
We are Southwest Florida.
I think the DR is going to get hot this year.
Yeah, I think so
I think
too.
Dominican Republic is going to get real hot. So anyway, a lot of the Canadians that own RV lots at resorts down here in Florida, they are selling because they don't want to be down here in Florida. They're not sure what's going to happen with this political instability that's going on in the marketplace. And also, they don't want to be down here. They're going to have to file with the U.S. government. This is what I'm hearing.
All sorts of new rules.
All sorts of new rules and regulations, and it's kind of crazy. So not to say that at least down here in Southwest Florida, we get a lot of Midwesterners, right? And people from, whether it's Michigan or
who, by the
Wisconsin.
way, are the nicest people.
Well, no, New Yorkers are the nicest. New Jersey, New York, Connecticut.
Right.
So, but anyway, we have a couple of different macro factors. And you know what I smell? I smell opportunity. I smell opportunity to purchase an RV lot and an RV. I'm glad we bought used, pre-owned. And I think that there is an opportunity for us to make some passive income. Now, a lot of you people may think we're nuts.
You may already be laughing.
And please do.
Have at it.
It's possible I'm wrong.
I laugh at him all the time.
I mean, I laugh at myself, right? But you know what?
No gain.
A lot of people who don't take risks, they sleep really well at night, and they have money in the bank.
Yeah,
but
such a terrible thing.
Risk takers own the world, right?
If you say so.
And this deal, we're going to own the world.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I do smell opportunity, and so renting an RV lot would make sense to me if I was able to put my RV on the lot and rent out the RV, because there's two ways. What I don't want to do is rent out our RV and have someone pull it and tow it.
No, never.
But I'm okay if I own or rent, if I have a lot and someone wants to stay in the RV, I'm okay just as a stationary rental, letting them stay at our lot. And there was only one place in all of Naples, or basically just north of Marco Island, that allowed you to do that.
Well, also that we liked.
Right? So
there's a lot of let's say, just runs in a wide range of what's really nice and what's really not.
Yeah.
So nice.
So like at the high end, Pelican
Motor
something
Coach.
resort,
Yes.
Naples Motor Coach. Those are
It's
two
all stopped.
Class A. They only allow Class A's, like the big buses. They're like $500,000 for lots, up to $750,000.
Oh, yeah.
They're beautiful resorts.
Well, those Class A buses are gorgeous.
and-
We've seen a few.
And they're very expensive. We didn't even go look at those resorts because we were getting a fifth wheel, not a Class A. But we did look at right next to Pelican Lakes Resort in Naples, right on 951, is Silver Lake Resort. And Silver Lake Resort, family owned. We took a tour of it.
Yes.
They have a little 9-hole golf course there.
And that was the one closest to Marco Island, right?
Very close to
where
Marco Island.
We thought we wanted to be.
And what's interesting is they have these things called park model homes, which are basically, they're technically not homes. They're not on a foundation. They get wheeled in, and so they're not real estate. It's not like you're buying real estate. And I don't know what it is about park model homes. They're just,
like them.
I don't like.
Cut to the chase.
I don't really like
them.
them. I think I don't know. It's just, to me, it's odd when you go into these RV parks that have a combination of Class A, fifth wheel, bumper pulls, and park model homes. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with them. Some of them are very cute, but they don't really do it for me. So the other thing that we were looking for was a place that had a gate, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to be spending the summer.
I may be there a lot by myself.
This summer, you know, you're gonna be down.
Yep, the condo's getting remodeled. As a refresh.
And so, you know, I'll be up at work, flying here, flying there, and you're going to be, you know, so we wanted to make sure you felt really safe and secure for this time while we're having the condo renovated. And Silver Lake was nice. It felt a little dated to me, a little park model-y to me, but super convenient from where our condo was.
A+ for us for convenience.
Yeah. But if you rented from them, it would cost. It depends. If you rent in the winter time, 1 month at a time, it's anywhere from, let's say, $2,800 a month to $3,700 a month, and then in the summertime, the rents go down quite a bit.
Right.
So if you sign a year lease, you can get the rent down to maybe $1,200, $1,300 a month for, you know, at some of these places. But if you can't generate income from the lot by having the RV on it and then being able to rent it out, it just really wasn't interesting to me. We did look at Crystal Lake in Naples.
Yes.
As a potential purchase. Really nice. I actually like that. Even though it had a bunch of park model homes on it, it just felt nice. The facility, like the pools, and they had multiple pools there.
Yes.
And one of the pools actually had a cover on it, which was interesting, like to keep the bugs out, I guess. And all these resorts have a very vibrant community in the winter time. During the peak season, but in the summer months, or even when we went to visit, these things are dead. There's like nobody there.
Right.
So.
But that's true for most of Southwest Florida.
For most of Southwest Florida.
So, our condo's empty that time of year too.
But and we looked at Neapolitan Cove.
Yes.
Right on 41 as you're heading towards Fifth Avenue in Naples. Nothing much going on there. It was clean and nice, but to me, that's a place I would stay for 3 days.
And just to explore the area.
As I'm driving through, and then, you know, then I would leave. It's not a place I would want to live, you know, and keep like a home base.
Agreed.
And then there was a couple of others. Some of them we just were like,
no.
There's just no way.
Some of them we pulled in the driveway, and I just went, no.
Yeah, and I did too.
Yeah, you agreed with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we expanded our search to Fort Myers, a little bit further north.
Right.
And we came across an RV resort called Cypress Trail RV Resort. And this is an ownership resort. You can rent there, and they have a vibrant community. There are over 450 lots. And we basically
rent from an owner, right?
You rent from an owner, right? So like Waves, you just rent from the company,
office,
from the office, and they own the corporation that is a big money corporation out of, I believe, Chicago. You rent from them, and that's it. But you can't rent out your unit or anything like that. But at the Cypress Trail Resort, we met with sort of one of the real estate agent, great guy. He took us on a tour in a golf cart, and it felt really nice. Like it felt developed, and it felt like it was already a place that it wasn't super old. It's only about 12 years old.
Yeah.
But yet the vegetation.
I was going to say what caught me right away was A, it's gated. And B, as you drive through, it's really beautiful in that the way they have these palm trees just lining the street.
Yeah.
It just felt really polished and very nice. The landscaping was beautiful. It was well maintained. We looked at the clubhouse and the pool, and all the other amenities that
Pickleball
they
courts
had.
and tennis courts and
Yeah,
shuffleboard courts,
little
all the stuff that
little dog park.
people want. See, in our case, what we want is in the wintertime, if we were to be down here in the winter, you know how we rent out the condo now in the winter. But if we're going to be down here at some point in the future, we're not going to rent out the condo. We're going to live in the condo, right? But we have.
But we could rent out the
RV. We could rent out the RV lot.
Rent out the RV.
Or the RV by itself on a different lot, or we could rent out our RV on our lot.
And they allow, right, all of it.
They would allow. I actually, you know, we did purchase a lot at the
Cypress Trail.
Cypress Trail. Right. Now there were quite a few lots for sale there, and
we did have a choice.
And the prices were, you know, quite high. People are asking quite a bit of money. But we looked at some that were just basically 35 by 90 foot slabs of concrete, and then they didn't have. Well, what got you was the tiki hut. The tiki huts.
So this resort, a lot of people put these beautiful tiki huts on their lot.
Right.
And some other people do like a cabana type thing.
Yeah.
But you said, no, if you're doing this, you want a tiki hut.
I want a tiki hut. So, you know, and I also, a lot of people buy these sheds from Amazon, not Amazon.com, but a company called Amazon that builds them to the Miami-Dade County standard for the hurricanes. Up to, they would stand up to 175 mile an hour winds. And a lot of these sheds that cost around 10 grand, a lot of people finish them off, and they put beds in them and TVs, and they make them into offices, bathrooms, and all that.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could buy just a blank sheet of paper, just a concrete lot, and put in, like, a tiki could cost you anywhere between 10, 15, 20 grand. You got to run electricity. And then if you buy a shed, it could cost you 10 grand for a shed, and then another 10 grand to finish it off and do all that.
Some of the I call them the driveways. Some of the slabs are just poured concrete.
Yeah.
But people that have had them, a lot of people have put in very pretty pavers.
Yeah.
The one we bought has pavers, has a tiki hut, and has that nice finished shed.
Right, exactly. So, and what's also...
we haven't even seen the inside of it.
We haven't even seen the inside.
We've only seen pictures of it.
But the nice thing about it is it's almost directly, sort of diagonally, a very short walk from the clubhouse,
where all the action is.
And
should be a desirable lot.
So from a rental standpoint, I'm thinking, okay, someone's going to want to put their RV on our lot, and you know, there's so many RVs in that lot, and there's lots of reasons why people who maybe already own a lot in there might want to rent our RV. Could be that they sold an RV and are waiting for their new RV to come in, and they're looking for a rental of an RV. Well, guess what? I have one. You want to rent it? Sure. I'm up north in Connecticut at work. You want to come down for the winter and you want to rent my RV lot? Sure, I'll rent you the lot for 6 months. And so it has a tiki, it has a shed, it's got...
And the tiki has a TV under it, I think.
The tiki does have a TV, yeah, and a table and chairs and all that. So we got a really good deal, I think, a relatively good deal. Some might...
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say really good, but I think
I'm just saying a depressed, it's a bit of a depressed market. And let's just say I would have liked to have bought it for 10 or 20,000 less, but I think we got a fair price compared to...
I think the owners would have liked to sold it for 10 or 20,000
more. Yeah, so you know, in any negotiation,
that feels like fair.
Neither one of us are happy.
Right.
That's probably the right price, right? That's the old saying. Look at the beautiful jet skis out there and the islands.
We
really
must be
nice.
in Florida.
So anyway, our RV is being towed right now.
So we really are officially now RV owners.
Yeah.
And we own a lot of in a resort, which should be a whole lot of fun. And we are somehow behind our RV traveling south on 75. And we're trying to see if we can catch up to it.
I think that might be it up there.
Do you think this is it?
I think that might be it.
Not this one. That's got things falling off of it. That's not ours.
No, that's not stuff falling. Is that ours?
That thing just fell off. That's not ours.
No?
Ours isn't that color, but there's another one way up there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Did ours just grow? That one looks big.
I told you, this is not ours.
No? Oh, that's a beacon. Oh, okay.
You can't tell the shape of it, isn't it?
Nah, I can't tell.
We are such newbies at this. What a fiasco this
That
morning.
pickup truck looks really, that is
That
not.
looks unsafe.
That is unsafe.
The whole pickup truck.
It's a 2500. That's crazy.
Doesn't look good.
Boy, that thing was sagging. That is underpowered. Not enough leaf springs in that pickup truck for that unit. Anyway,
we're excited.
We're excited. So
we're going to bring you there.
We're going to bring you there. Listen, the next video, we're going to be pulling in and setting up our RV. So thanks again for listening to us today. And
really hope you'll come along with us on this journey. I am telling you, we are so green and such newbies on this. If nothing else, it'll be comic relief, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anyway, thanks again for watching another episode of Dave and Kathy Unplugged, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Take care.
Take care.